Hi Gemini, welcome to your September reading. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Linda. Please join me for the shuffle. Send your energy into the cards so I can get really clear messages that are tailored for you. Also ask your guides and your higher self to be present here for this reading and to participate by passing along messages through me, through time and space, to provide insight and guidance for you given your current situation. I'm going to do a general spread first for anyone under the influence of Gemini. And then I'm going to pull a second spread later in the reading to give another layer using a different deck for a more higher perspective on your situation. So make sure you stay tuned through to the end for that one. Alright, let's get started. You have King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. That's your own energy actually. Two Majors coming out. Alright, a lot of Swords cards jumping out. Well, there's 4 in the spread. Major Arcana cards, we have Temperance and the Moon crossing at the heart of the reading. We have the Hangman in reverse in the recent past. The Hermit in reverse with the Empress in reverse in the outcome position. Excuse me. We have 6, 8, 9 and 10 of Swords, as well as this King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. We'll get to him later. What I'm feeling in this energy is, there's 2 tens as well. I'm kind of feeling like there's something happening at the moment where you've reached a pinnacle, or it's like a tipping point, or a kind of climax moment where it's like you've kind of had enough of your own self in a way. And I don't. That's no shade. I don't mean any judgment there with that. But what I'm getting, or what I feel, is like you're tired of your own mind. You're tired of your own thoughts. Maybe you're tired of the way you think about things, or process things, or do things. And it's like you're ready to actually change all of that, because you know there's a different way to do things. You know there's a better way to approach troubleshooting and problem solving than maybe the way you've been doing things. Because I think the way, maybe you're understanding now that the way you've been doing things has brought you to where you are, and maybe that's been a bit of a loop where you've been in similar situations again and again, and you handle them the same way, and you end up right where you are. That's what I feel in this reading. Like you're ready. You're almost like this 4 of Cups reverse. It's like you're over it. Subconscious mind. This is the conscious mind. 6 of Swords, ready to move on, try something different. It's a departure. But it's a departure in terms of like the way you process information, the way you communicate as well. But this 8 and 9 of Swords together, and then the 10 of Swords here in this quadrant, like this part of the reading is how you see yourself now, and this part of the reading is your environment. So for some of you, that energy has to do with a person that you're dealing with at this particular moment. But that, what I described earlier, I feel like that's a sort of a style, or an approach, or just the way you handle things, you know, is something that you're identifying now as being, you know, needing a makeover, or needing to be like tweaked a little bit and reorganized so that you can actually find better solutions to problems than the way you've been handling things. But for some of you, this Queen of Pentacles could actually be a person, and I think you're feeling now here that, or they're feeling like they're also kind of tired of the loop. There's a bit of a hamster wheel energy I'm feeling in this reading, like, oh, we're still doing this and we're still doing it the same way. It's like everybody involved is looking for a new process, new approach to be able to bring about actual solutions rather than kind of coming back to where you started every time. Now, Temperance at the heart of the reading is interesting, crossed by the Moon. So, you need to find better balance. I need to, again, identify like where do things need to change? Like what, like both of these cards are giving me a sort of washing energy, like purifying, regenerating. For some of you, you might actually be participating in or performing some kind of rituals that has that sort of purifying, washing effect. to help with this process of shifting and changing things. You know, there's a desire to take a new path forward and make make a different way, make a better way. Forming better habits and bonds as well. Forming better bonds is coming through. The thing that's sticking out to me about both of these cards right now is this trail. Let me see if I can point it out. So in the Temperance card here, you can see this trail here in the background that's leading to this forest. And the same in the Moon card, there's this trail. There's a trail here towards, you know, like moving away from the water. It's like moving from the water away. It's interesting. I never noticed that before in both cards. So yeah, there is at this moment, I'm hearing signaling. I'm going to look that up because I don't really know exactly where to take that. Signaling. Transmit information or instructions by means of a gesture, action, or sound. To instruct or to do something by means of gestures rather than signs or explicit orders. To indicate the existence or occurrence of something by actions or sounds. Signaling. That's from the dictionary. I don't know if that's exactly what I'm... I feel like signaling, I'm not sure totally, but I feel like signaling might be like a psychological term for something. I'm just going to go to Google 1 second. Bear with me. Well, this is giving a definition for something in economics. I don't know, that was a little bit of a detour that didn't really feel like it brought me anywhere. But let me just tune into it again. Signaling. Well, actually now what I'm tuning into with that is that signaling is coming from the subconscious mind, because the Moon card is pretty loud in this reading. It's the crossing card, it was in reverse. So that's what's challenging you right now. So how I'm feeling that is that you are getting information coming to you either through your dreams, perhaps for some of you, or through intuition, or you're noticing certain signs and symbols in your environment that is your subconscious mind signaling to you information, omens, messages, data for you to interpret in the way that is relevant for the particular experience you're having right now, and as a way of helping to guide you, to inform you, to teach you, to give you direction, and to help you figure out like what all is needed for you to make this change that you're looking for here. I want to talk about this Hangman here in the reading. Hangman is in reverse in the recent past, and then there's also the Page of Cups in reverse in the future. Both of these cards are very Piscean energies. So either you could be dealing with the Pisces, or it's simply more about the energy of surrender is what I feel actually with both of these. There's a kind of surrender, because I feel something in the energy of this reading as well that is like you struggling against what's actually happening in all ways. There's like this kind of stubborn energy of pushing back always. And I think that's what's leaving you feeling this frequency of being inhibited and stuck and limited and restricted, but it's by your own mind. The swords element is the air, right? So it represents mind, concepts, thoughts, and also communication. But this energy is how you see yourself right now. So I think you're finally acknowledging that you're stuck actually in a moment. You're stuck in your own loop of the way you think through things, the way you process information. And there's a bit of self-trickery here. Self-sabotage is definitely in the Eight of Swords card, I feel. The Nine of Swords as well. The way that you're tied up here is of your own doing. It's of your own doing. And part of it has to do with the fact that in the past, you haven't surrendered to things. You have fought back against it. You've been pushing back through stubbornness, through pride, through ego, through lack of awareness for one. I'm not picking on you here. I'm just trying to help. I'm passing on the messages. But I feel like with this Hangman in reverse, there in the past, that which has led to this moment, there has been this repetition of, you know, you get into a point of concern where there is some issue that needs to be dealt with or handled or processed, and usually it's with another person. That's how life works. And you kind of try to solve it. You kind of try to like find a way to find common ground, or a way to heal or forgive, but not really, actually. You're maybe just trying to prove yourself right. You maybe just want to win the argument or come out of the situation being correct in your eyes. But that might not actually solve the problem. And that could be why this Queen of Pentacles has her back to you. You know? This might be the last time she's ready to have this conversation, because it's the same old, same old. You know, true surrender, true acceptance, and you have both the Temperance and the Hangman here, both suggesting the same things. Even the Moon as well, like all this watery energy, a lot of Piscean energy in this reading. The Moon can also be Pisces, although I see it as Cancer as well. But the point being that the Piscean archetype governs, you know, that which we can surrender in order to be liberated, right? That's one of the qualities that Pisces can offer. But if you're too fixed in your ideas, and if you're too fixed in being right, or if you're too fixed in your ego and you don't want to even explore that humility of letting go and surrendering to a circumstance, in order to be, the thing is about surrender, or that the letting go that I'm describing, it's about, hopefully I can try to articulate this in a way that will make sense for you. It's about letting go of what you think you know, in order to acknowledge that there is much more that you don't know and that you don't understand. And in that moment of doing that, then you receive the gifts of wisdom from spirit, from a higher source. And that's how you're able to evolve. But if you're constantly stuck in your own mind, thinking that you know the answers or that you have the solution, even if you start the process and you open up to that, but at a certain point, because you are so intellectual and you are so much in your head all the time, you can talk yourself into anything. And that's what you have to be careful of here. You have to learn how to quell the inner voice so that you can actually be open to receive wisdom from a higher source that is beyond your small frame and is connected to all that is connected to universal, unconditional love and compassion. Then you can start to move past the limitation that you're at now, because you have given yourself up to that higher knowledge, higher wisdom. I hope this is making sense for you, Gemini. Now, as I said, there's two tens in the reading. We have the Ten of Cups also now in the hopes and fears position, with the Knight of Wands in reverse. So this is like hopes and fears. This part of the reading was what's in your environment. So I was feeling this as a person. You know, you could have this Queen of Pentacles in your environment that you've been dealing with, and she may be feeling a little bit frustrated and hitting a wall here, where she's kind of like, she might be close to getting ready to move on, because she might be tired of this constant processing and looping and not actually moving forward or getting anywhere. But you still have hope. You still have hope for this. You still have, you know, you're still maybe maintaining a positivity of there being a chance to resolve and find solutions and return to a sense of joy and balance and harmony with the Ten of Cups, with the Temperance, and with the Moon card. But the Knight of Wands in reverse is suggesting here again that you may need to tap into a little bit more of humility, because you might be being too hot-headed, too irrational. Maybe you have a temper and that's affecting things as well. Maybe your energy is too reactive. And so there's a need for you, again, to apply temperance to your circumstance, to yourself, to calm down, to soothe, to quiet, to quell, and like just calm down so that balance can be restored here. I really feel the need for you in this energy to be in a much more receptive state. And for you, in order for you to be in a more receptive state, I feel the need for you to become more humble. That's basically what I'm going to say here. And again, I'm not, there's no shade. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not picking on you. I'm just reading the energy here so that I can support you in your growth, so that you can resolve a solution here, resolve a situation here. Because you might find yourself missing out on this energy. I feel like this Empress in reverse here could be this same Queen of Pentacles that is feeling pushed away by you because of your inability to surrender, your inability to listen. Again, the receptivity I'm feeling in this reading is not just on that cosmic level, it's also on this physical level here with a person. Like if you're constantly trying to talk through a situation and you're not letting the other person speak so that they can share with you what their experiences is, and if you're just sitting there the whole time they're talking, waiting to talk back to them and correct them on all the places that they're wrong, you're never going to get out of this loop. You're never going to get out of it. You need to calm down. You need to be more humble. You need to be more receptive. You need to listen. Gemini, you need to listen. You need to listen. Because the people around you are not going to keep trying if you just keep talking over. So King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Now there's the Chariot, the Emperor in reverse, and the Fool in reverse is also the Hierophant in reverse. I'm going to take that. This is very interesting. All this strong masculine energy. I feel for the most part in this reading, I'm reading for a masculine Gemini energy. There's also the Hierophant in reverse, and then now there's the Two of Cups in reverse. I'm going to take that as well. I really feel that this is a strong warning here for you, Gemini, that if you can't get out of your head and if you can't move on past your stubborn, fixed, prideful, egoic tendency to want to, you know, be always have the last word or have the last comment or have things be your way, or there, you need to find more sensitivity and receptivity in order to, like all these reverse cards here, like You're too dogmatic. That's what the Hierophant is saying, as well as the Emperor. You're being too controlling, too dogmatic, too fixed, too masculine, too domineering, too controlling, too manipulative. I'm sorry, I had to say it. It's what's in the cards here. This is in your energy. And if you want to maintain relationships in a harmonious and balanced way, you need to address those things very seriously. The Fool reverse is saying like you're selling yourself short here. Don't be so attached to your personality. We can change. We can change. Our true fundamental nature is not necessarily how our personality expresses. We go through different phases where our personality has aspects in it that are a certain way, but you need to understand that you can craft that, you can mold that. That is actually the greatest piece of artwork that any of us can undertake, is to craft our personality, to bring out the absolute best of our potential. And right now I don't feel like you're operating at your best potential. There's work to be done here. There's a need to become more receptive. There's a need to be able to change the way you think about things so that you can find different solutions. You need to be less fixed. You need to be less dominant. You need to be less controlling and less manipulative, and you need to talk less. You need to listen more. All right, I feel like I've scolded you enough. I feel like that's it for the general reading, Gemini. If any of you are still watching after all that bashing. Here is the Higher Octave spread. Please tune in while I shuffle the cards. I'm going to pull another holographic mandala layout like this one to give a little bit more additional insight into karmic and spiritual forces that may be at play. We're going to look hopefully at any blind spots that we can illuminate. Maybe your guides and your higher self will also provide some practical insight on how to best deal with this energy in the day-to-day mundane world. So again, send your energy into the deck. Let's take a look. There's the Hangman, You have to surrender. You have to be more receptive. You have to let go. Now there's the Priestess, crossed by the Seven of Wands. There's the Queen of Pentacles again. Now she's crowning the reading. It's the same person here that was in your spread. Child of Crystals, Page of Swords. Ace of Crystals, the Star in reverse. The Lovers, all right. Strength, a lot of major arcana. Seven of Crystals reversed. Eight of Cups. The Moon, again coming out. Again, more of this like watery, receptive energy. The Chariot also repeating. Man of Pentacles reversed. And the Sage of Cups upright. I really feel that this is a big time for you, Gemini. I feel like this energy is quite significant. It's not just like another month of the year. This is something big that you're experiencing where you have a pretty significant opportunity to transform and transmute some really old ingrained patterns that are within you that have been somewhat stifling. You know, you're ready to move past this energy. There's a need and a desire here for liberation. And while I've been very scathing and strong with my language, the simple fact that this is coming out here just tells me that you're ready to hear it because you're ready to transform it. You're ready to come into more balance and harmony. You're ready to have better relationships. You're ready to have you're ready to have a better quality of life. You're ready to experience life in a different way than you have been because you know that you've been doing okay, but there's something missing. And here you are on this quest to figure out what that is and how to attain it. And as I've said in the previous reading, a lot of that has to do with being willing to be more humble in order to be more receptive, to surrender to what you don't know and accept that there is a higher wisdom, a higher love, a higher power that's available to you that's seeking to inform you. But because you're constantly mind, you may not have been able to access that energy and that information. So I do feel like you are very ready for a turning point here. There is energy that's available for you to catalyze if you should so seek to accept and claim that opportunity, right? I'm going to leave it there. That's just an introduction to the higher octave. If any of that piqued your interest and you feel like it would support and help you in your growth path right now to hear the rest of this interpretation, you can click the link below. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I will see you in the next reading. Thank you.